Let's try to understand very important collectors API function groupingBy. This function can be used to create a group of things. For example, you have a stream of products and you want to group them by their category, such as group by books, group by electronics, etc. In that scenario, we can use groupingBy collector. Okay, so let's see an example demonstrating groupingBy. So we have one class product with field as name, category, price, and their getter, setters, and two string methods. Okay, and we have one utility function which simply creates some product like this. Okay, so PC, electronics, mobile, electronics, t-shirt, jeans, apparel, book, stationery, and their price. Okay, so let's say I want to group them based on category. So how I can do it? Okay, so basically map of a string and my list of product. I want to create a group. So get products dot stream dot collect. Okay, not collect list, it's grouping by. Okay, so let's see what does this grouping by accept. So I can see it is asking for classifier function. Okay, so for our case my classifier is category, so I can do it p dot get category. Okay, so in this way it will convert it as a group of product based on category. So let's try to print it. Okay, so basically it is printing my product based on categories: apparel, t-shirt and its price, jeans, electronics, stationery, book. Okay, now let's say I don't want a list, rather than I want to create a set. In that case I can use another overloaded grouping by method with downstream collector. Okay, so if I go to grouping by and scroll a little bit, there is another grouping by function overloaded with downstream collector. Okay, so classifier is we already know, and downstream we can provide a downstream collector like two list, two set, or two collection, or any kind of collector that I want. Okay, so for example I don't want to create a list, I want to create a set. So here I can pass a downstream collector which is collector dot to set. Okay, so now my stream is converted to map of a string and set of product. Okay, um, now let's say so if you see this grouping by, it is nothing but creating a hash map. But I don't want a hash map, I want a special map, let's say tree map. So in that case what I can do, okay, so again if I see another overloaded grouping by function, I can provide a map factory supplier. So basically what I can do, I can provide a supplier like this. So I want one second, I want tree map. Okay, so now my map is tree map of a string and set of product. Again I am providing downstream collector as two sets, so it is converted to set of product. Okay, so these are the different version of grouping by. If you see, we discuss like simple grouping by with the downstream collector, and grouping by with map factory. Okay, so you can see there is one more grouping by similar to grouping by concurrent. Okay, so what this grouping by concurrent is, so in our case grouping by more or less we are creating a simple map, hash map, tree map, okay, which are not thread shape. But let's say I want to create a thread shape map which is like let's say concurrent hash map. So in that case I need to use this grouping by concurrent function. Okay, so it is again similar to grouping by. So you can see it is simple, it takes simple classifier, it takes a downstream collector, and it takes some map factory as well. Okay, so yeah, now let's see, there are few more collectors which generally used in conjunction with grouping by, which are mapping, okay, and counting. So where it is, yeah, counting. Okay, these are special collectors that most of the times are used in conjunction with grouping by. So let's try to understand them one by one. Okay. So no matter which grouping by overloaded method I am using, I can create a group of products only. Okay, rather it's set, list, or whatever. But let's say I have a requirement that I want to create a map. I want to create a map of a string and let's say list of product name only. Okay. So in that case, what I can do, I can use my collectors dot mapping. So first parameter is again category only, and downstream collector is collectors dot mapping. Okay, let's see what it takes. So it takes mapper function and my downstream collector. Okay, so my mapper function can be, I want a group of product name only. So what I can do, I can say p dot get name, and I want to create it as list. So in that case, collectors dot to list. Okay, now if I try to print it, it will print category and product name only. Okay, so it is printing only product name. Now let's see counting example. So let's take a different example. So let's say I have list of strings such that a a b c c and c. Okay, and I want to create a frequency map out of it. So my frequency map will look like below. So basically map of a string and count. Okay, so frequency map is equal to my data dot stream dot collect collectors dot grouping by. So whatever element it is, I am passing it as classifier. Okay, but this value I want it as a number of string. Okay, so I can pass downstream collectors as collectors dot counting, and then I have my frequency map. So if I try to print it, you can see A appears 2 times, B appears once, and C thrice. Okay, so this is it all about grouping by, mapping and counting collectors. Hit the like button and subscribe if you really like the content. Thank you.